this look like a Peugeot to you? Doesn't look like a Peugeot to me either, but there's a good reason for that. You see, Peugeot are going posh and all upmarket. This is the brand new 308 and it's a new type of Peugeot. But the question is, have they taken things too far or have they got it just right? Shall we find out? All right then.
Right, we're going to talk about the snazzy new design a little bit later and find out what some of you guys think.
You're very surprised. That looks like a really nice car.
But first, let's find out what's under the skin. Now, being a Stellantis product, the 308 shares its EMP2 platform with the new Vauxhall Astra and the DS4. This means you can get an electrified version, either the hybrid 180 or the more powerful hybrid 225 with 222 brake horsepower. Both use a 1.6 litre petrol engine and an electric motor, and 37 miles of electric range is possible. That's not bad, eh? You can also get a pure petrol model or a diesel.
Yep, that's right. Peugeot are sticking with diesel for now. But the one we've got here, this is the 1.2 PureTech turbocharged petrol. It's got a 0 to 62 time of 9.7 seconds and 128 brake horsepower. Shall we put our foot down? It's noisy, isn't it? That's quite loud. It's a nice bit of oomph there though. That's not bad, miles per gallon. We've got 39.1. Every version comes with an automatic gearbox, which is quite smooth when you're moving. But when you come down to a stop, right, so put your foot down on the brake, and then you normally come to a stop, you gently kind of lift off and it's a nice slow stop. But with this, it just doesn't quite do that, and it just kind of immediately does like a really sudden stop like that, which is definitely down to the gearbox. It's just something that we've noticed that might be worth pointing out.
But what happens when you get to a corner? Well, turn that teeny-tiny steering wheel and the little Peugeot responds really quite well.
There are moments of this car that I think are genuinely done really well. Grip is brilliant. The way it takes corners is quite lovely. Like it stays nice and flat. I mean, the steering feels really nice and precise. It feels quite sporty. I enjoyed that. It's good fun.
You might think that the trade-off for this zesty handling would be a harsh ride quality. Thankfully though, the news is still good when you reach a bumpy road.
You see, honestly, this is what the Peugeot engineers have just done really, really well. When you land on a bumpy road, it absorbs it reasonably well. I mean, it's not as loud as you would expect it to be. It's not crashing into potholes as much as you think it would do. You do have a little bit of road noise, but it seems to handle it quite well. Like, it's not uncomfortable at all. If anything, I would say the most uncomfortable thing is probably the driving position. It's a weird one because I reviewed the Peugeot 208 and this didn't feel weird, but in here it doesn't feel quite right for me, and I can't quite put my finger on it. I mean, it is down to the fact that yes, the steering wheel is right at the bottom. But sometimes, like if I'm just sat normally like this, when I'm turning, I'm going to keep whacking my arm against my leg like that. And when I get out of the car, watch this. I just have to point this out to you. When I get out of the car, right, put the handbrake on. There we go. Put it in park. Lovely. When I go to get out of the car, I'm whacking my legs on the steering wheel. I think you're fine if you're maybe shaped like Rich from Car Buyer and you've got like a longer torso and shorter legs. That's what this car is designed for, longer torsos. So the Peugeot interior is unlike any other car, right? Because you look over the top of the steering wheel to be able to see the dials, which for some people is going to get quite awkward and quite irritating. It's well worth trying before you buy. Otherwise, everything else in here is quite lovely. It feels pretty premium. I mean, the quality of materials is lovely all around the doors. Look at this. Bit of ambient lighting along here. Now we've got a 10-inch iConnect infotainment system, which all works quite lovely. However, when you use like the shortcut keys, there's like a little animation every time you change things around. which looks nice. I just think it's a little bit of a waste of time. And also, climate controls are in the screen, which again is really irritating. But storage, fantastic. Good door bins. You've got wireless charging up here, and also this is so deep. I can get like my whole arm in here. It's quite a rare sighting. I don't mind it.
Practicality-wise, the cabin space isn't actually that great. Space in the back is about average. It's a bit tight for taller adults back here, but hello cup holders and the perfect place to keep your fruit pastels. Fruit pastels. The 412-litre boot is bigger than the VW Golfs though, but the hybrid models do lose 51 litres of space.
Now, in terms of the actual design of the car, let's talk about that, because everything is completely different from the outside, and I think it's quite a lovely looking car. But I'd love to see what you guys think, so I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll pop into town and we'll chat to a few people, shall we? New car here. First thing I want to know is, what do you think this car is?
Looks a bit Renault-ish.
Maybe a Ford, maybe a bit nicer, I don't know.
Maybe a Ford, maybe a bit nicer.
It's a bit of a tricky one, isn't it, to be honest with you?
But I would say it's possibly a Dacia.
Renault-ish, possibly a Dacia is what he's going with. Are you sure?
Quite possibly.
Like maybe a Skoda or a Golf? I have no idea, to be honest.
What if I told you you are way off?
Excellent. That's very good.
Okay, what if I told you it was the brand new Peugeot 308?
I would be very surprised. That looks like a really nice car.
Oh, is it right?
Oh, fancy. God, it looks nice for a Peugeot.
That's exactly what we needed to hear. It looks nice for a Peugeot. Your thoughts on the stylings, please?
Looks very nice. Yeah. Yes.
It's really sleek, it's really modern. Yeah, it looks great.
Because the thing is Peugeot have had this whole big revamp, new badge, the lot. So I want to show you the badge. Follow me.
Okay.
And I just want to show you what the badge looks like. Ta-da!
Fancy.
Yeah, it's definitely much better than the old one.
That's really nice, isn't it? That looks really awesome. I like how sort of metallic it is.
Yeah, good. It makes it look really expensive.
It's definitely much more modern in its styling and everything else, and really, yeah, it suits the car really well.
Thumbs up from Nick. Thumbs up from Meg. Got another thumbs up from Alicia.
Great.